Good evening, everyone. I'm Riley King, and welcome to my evening news report right here on the Riley King Network. Let's begin. Take a look at these two photos right here. Mom helped change state law. Designation on driver's license can take tension out of routine traffic stops. In the spring of 2018, Kelly Richardson's 18-year-old autistic son Hunter was pulled over by police in Salem while driving home from work. This is like an autism parent's worst nightmare, Kelly Richardson said. Hunter Richardson had rolled through a red light to turn right as he left the parking lot of the Walmart on North Broadway where he worked. When the officer approached him and began asking him questions, he became overwhelmed, and the officer thought his behavior was odd, Kelly Richardson said. Her son wasn't sure how to react, she said, adding to a situation fraught with anxiety and communication barriers. The officer was a plainclothes detective in an unmarked vehicle, Kelly Richardson said. She said her son had saved his own money to buy a car in the spring of 2017. He then got a job at the Salem Walmart that fall and was due to graduate from high school the following spring, which Kelly Richardson said was a huge accomplishment for him. This was the first time Hunter Richardson had ever been pulled over by a police officer. He had just passed his driver's test, his mother said. Because of his autism, she said, his ideological behavior was deemed suspicious by police. People with autism spectrum disorder may not make eye contact and can struggle to communicate clearly, especially in stressful situations. Had things gone slightly differently, an officer might have viewed Hunter Richardson as uncooperative or under the influence of drugs and arrested him. But this officer called Kelly Richardson and her husband, and they were able to explain the reason for their son's behavior and came over to pick him up. When Kelly Richardson got there, she saw that her son was visibly shaken. If Hunter had been able to provide the police officer with a license that displayed his medically recognized disorder, autism, the entire situation could have been avoided, Kelly Richardson wrote in her testimony before the House Transportation Committee earlier this year. HB 368, which would enable autism spectrum disorder to be indicated on a person's driver's license, was passed by the legislature and ultimately signed along with 15 other bills by Governor Chris Sununu in July. Starting next year, the DMV will offer a voluntary option to include the medically recognized disorder on licenses if the driver provides a letter from a physician. If Kelly Richardson, a special ed teacher at Pinkerton Academy in Derry, hadn't felt the dread of her son being arrested during a routine traffic stop, New Hampshire may not have become the third state to adopt such a law. Soon after the incident, Richardson began to do research online, asking people in autism forums what could be done to ease interaction with police. She soon discovered that legislation had recently passed in Texas and Virginia. I thought it was strange that more states hadn't done this, she said. Kelly Richardson said she is friends with her state representative, John O'Connor, Republican of Derry, and asked him to consider bringing a bill forward. She showed him what the other states had passed. O'Connor became the primary sponsor of the bill, which quietly moved through the process with board bipartisan support earlier this year. And Kelly Richardson was given flexibility with her work schedule to testify before lawmakers to help get the bill passed. Now she wants more people to know about the change in state law in the hopes that people with autism can drive without fear of interacting with police. The special education program at Pinkerton includes teaching kids with autism what to expect during a traffic stop and how to communicate their disorder to an officer. While these lessons also provide valuable insight into each other's perspectives in these scenarios, we recognize that not everyone in greater New Hampshire communities has access opportunities like this, and that even then it may be difficult to express on oneself's apparently when anxiety, anxious. Rob Flynn, Pinkerton autism specialist, said in his testimony to lawmakers this year. By including this indicator on driver's licenses, it is a tool for both licensees and anyone who may be interacting with a person, for example, at a traffic stop, and can diffuse potential overwhelming situations, O'Connor said in a news release after Sununu signed the bill into law. Kelly Richardson said her son is still working at Walmart and is expecting a baby with his girlfriend in the next couple of months. And that does it for my evening news report right here on the Riley King Network. I hope you all have a great rest of your evening, and I'll see you back here tomorrow with more news reports. Good night and bye.